recording and my sharing of the screen. And we're going to start with, we're going to look at the most common bridge mistakes that occur. I'm just going to mute everyone. Okay, so unmute yourselves if you wish to ask a question. And we're going to look this week about the most common bidding mistakes. Playing especially online, I see a lot of bidding mistakes where people, I'm just closing the window there, where people don't really bid the hands properly. And there are all kinds of mistakes, but I just thought I'd talk about the most common ones that I see. Someone's unmuted themselves and caused a bit of background noise, so don't do that if you've got some noise in the background. So here are the most common mistakes that I think of. Let me just minimize that. And the first one I would say is responding to one of a suit with one no trump, which shows 6 to 9 points, rather than one of a new suit. So if your partner bids one heart, bypassing a 4-card suit like one spade to bid one no trump, that's a very common error in the bidding. Another one, and we're going to look at examples of most of these in a moment, so I'll just go through these fairly quickly and then we'll look at them. Not supporting your partner's overcall with 3 trumps. So if your partner makes an overcall which shows at least a 5-card suit, you should generally support them with 3 or more cards in that suit rather than bid your own suit, for example. Another one similar to that is overcalling with a 4-card suit. That's another bad mistake that's fairly common. Not jumping with 9 or more points in response to a takeout double. So if your partner makes a takeout double and you have a hand with 0 to 8 points, it's normal to bid at the lowest level, but you should jump if you have 9 or more points. That's a very common error. Not doubling when the opponents are sacrificing against you. That's a little harder, but if it seems like you've got the balance of the points and the opponents are outbidding you, maybe you should think about doubling them. And another common error is opening with a weak 2 when you have a reasonable 7-card suit. Normally with a weak hand and a 7-card suit, you should be thinking about opening at the 3 level. But quite a few people I've noticed are opening with a 2-level bid. Perhaps they're frightened of bidding at the 3 level. And that's also a mistake. Another one kind of a bit related to that is raising your own preempt. So if you make a preemptive bid, you're meant to bid as high as you dare all in one go, and then not bid again unless your partner makes a bid that requires you to bid. So you're not meant to keep bidding your suit again after you've preempted. And the last one there would be raising your partner's minor suit when you have a 4-card major you could bid. And we'll look at examples of most of those in a moment. Do interrupt me if you have any questions about what that means, but hopefully it will become clearer with some examples. So let's switch to looking at some actual hands. And we're going to look at this hand here, where North, your partner, has bid 1 heart. And the correct response from you is not pass, not 1 no trump, but to bid 1 spade. You have a 4-card suit you could bid at the 1 level, and you should bid it. But I see quite a lot of people bidding 1 no trump with a hand like this. And the main, well, there are a couple of problems with that, but one of the problems with it is you may have a spade fit that you will never find. So if we bring up 4 hands like this, where your partner's opened 1 heart, if you bid 1 no trump, showing 6 to 9 points, your partner now, I think they've got 15 points, so they will probably pass, and you'll play it in 1 no trump. Now, how will it do in 1 no trump? Well, if the opponents find their best lead, I think it's the 10 of diamonds. If I click on the GIB link, we'll actually say that with best possible play and best possible defense, you can just make one no trump. That's what the equal sign means. So you should just make one no trump, but you've missed out on playing in a spade fit there. So how should this go? Well, in response to one heart, South should bid one spade. Now North will support you and bid two spades, and that will be it. North's got a minimum hand with 15 points. You've only got 6 points, so you should be quite happy to play it in two spades. And here, if the opponents lead a diamond again, if I click on the GIB button, it's actually saying that North-South can make an over trick here in two spades. In other words, they can make 9 tricks rather than in one no trump, where they might just make 7 tricks. So definitely, don't bypass a 4-card major to bid one no trump here, because you may be missing out on a spade fit. Do interrupt me if you have any comments about this. Of course, it may be that you don't have a spade fit. It may be, that your partner's opened one heart, so you will bid one spade here, and now your partner will rebid one no trump with, they've got a same hand, a balanced hand with 15 points, so they'll bid one no trump, and you'll end up in the same contract you would have ended up with if you'd have bid one no trump there yourself wrongly. But the correct bid is to bid one spade, and then your partner bids one no trump, and then you are happy to pass that. Don't know what the opponents might lead there, but if they, I think whatever they lead, if I bring up the GIB button, you should be able to make one no trump here, probably making one over trick. The computer says that the actual best lead for the defense here is actually a spade. So although that gives away a trick to the king, it helps the opponent set up some spade tricks. But you should be in one no trump there, however you bid it. Any comments or questions on that? Here's yeah.
Sorry, Tony. If you had 5 clubs and 4 spades as a responder, would you still go for spades and not go for length?
So it depends on your strength, is the answer. To bid, actually, we've got a hand coming up almost exactly like that in a minute. Mm-hmm. But to bid 2 clubs, you should have at least 10 points. And in fact, if you have a 4-card major and a 5-card minor, mm-hmm. It's very often a good idea to bid the major. There's a danger if you bid 2 clubs, if your hand is strong enough, that you may miss out on the major suit fit if you have one. So I think there's a lot to be said for never bypassing a 4-card major. But in actual standard ACL bidding, you can respond, you should respond 2 clubs, but there's a danger if you do that you'll bypass your major suit fit. You may not find it. Actually, we've got a hand coming up very similar to that, so maybe we'll talk about it there. Okay. Here's another hand. This actually came about in a recent game, I think last Thursday. And North here has opened 1 diamond. And I'm going to launch a poll in a moment and ask you, what do you think East should bid? So have a little think about it. And in a moment, I'm going to launch a poll. And the question is, what should East bid? What's with you? And let's have a look. Majority here went for double, 52%. 29% said pass. There was 2 people going for 1 heart and 2 people going for 1 no trump. So what do we think? Well, you might be thinking about, in fact, if you'd have been dealer, you would have opened 1 no trump. But as an overcall, 1 no trump should be stronger. It should be more like 15 to 17, or some people play 16 to 18. So it's not really suitable for 1 no trump overcall. It's tempting to double on this hand, but you'll be in a bit of trouble if you do, if your partner responds in clubs here, because you don't really have any support or even tolerance for clubs. So if they do bid, if you do double and they bid 2 clubs, then you're a bit stuck. You can't really describe your hand anymore after that point. So I think the best thing to do with this hand is to pass. Your hand is not really suitable for a double. It's also not really suitable for an overcall of one of a suit, of 1 spade or 1 heart, because you've only got 4 cards. So I think you should pass. Double could work out well if your partner happens to bid one of your majors, but it is taking a slight risk. And the correct bid really is to pass here. If you do pass, let's bring up actually the 4 hands. If you do pass, it will go 1 diamond, and this is a hand where South should bid 1 heart. South has only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, so not really strong enough to bid at the 2 level there. Even though you've got 6 clubs, 1 heart is really the right bid there. Quite a few people did bid 2 clubs on this hand when it was played, and in that case, North would rebid 2 diamonds, and you would hope to end up in 2 diamonds, although no one did. So really, after 1 diamond, 1 heart, North now can bid 1 spade. That's not a reverse bid, that's not a strong bid, it's still at the 1 level. And then maybe South would settle for 1 no trump. That should show 6 to 9 points, no real fit for your partner's suits, and a club stopper, which you definitely have. So that was my view about how that one should go, but it didn't really go like that on most of the tables. What happened on one of the tables that I noticed is it went 1 diamond and East overcalled 1 spade, and that's definitely not a good suit to be overcalling with. It's only 4 cards, and they've only got 1 honor in that suit. So after that, on this hand, South doubled. The double there is a negative double, showing the 2 unbid suits, clubs and heart. So that's a good bid there. And West supported their partner on the assumption that they've got an 8-card fit with 3 cards and 5 cards there. They ended up playing in 2 spades, and 2 spades did not do very well on this hand. According to the computer, it might go down just 1 trick, although it actually ended up going down 2 tricks on this hand. So this was an example of East overcalling with a 4-card suit that did not work out well. So it really was a mistake there. This is actually the hand as it was played, and you can see that nearly all contracts got defeated there. The only contracts that were made by either side was 1 North-South managed to make 2 no trump, although another 1 no trump by South went down 2. So it really was a difficult hand to be in. But you can see the one where East-West ended up playing in 2 spades went down 2 tricks, and that was a penalty of 200. So that was a bottom score for East-West. They got a 0 on that. So that was an example of overcalling with a 4-card suit. If you have a very strong 4-card suit, then that is more permissible. But your partner will expect that you've got 5 or more cards and should support you with only 3 cards. Any comments on that? As you can see, the only positive contract that North-South can make according to the computer is 2 diamonds. So if it went 1 diamond and then 1 heart, or some people bid 2 clubs, then if you rebid 2 diamonds, that should end the contract. But an awful lot of North-South got too high, playing it in 3 no trump, for example. Any comments on that? So that was an example of overcalling with a 4-card suit, something you shouldn't do. Let's have a look at this one here. And I've got the second and final poll of the afternoon. And here, South has opened one diamond, West passed, and I'd like you to think about what North should bid with this hand. So have a little think about it. And here comes the poll. There are quite a few choices here, so you might need to scroll down. Okay, let me share the results with you. And the majority here, 71% have gone for one spade. The next most popular answer was 3 diamonds. 2 people said 1 no trump, and 1 person said 2 diamonds. And yes, I'm pleased to say that the majority of you are right. 71%, sorry, let me find that. 71% said 1 spade, and that is correct. And any other bid is wrong. It's a bad mistake here to bid 3 diamonds or 2 diamonds or anything other than 1 spade here. You know you have a fit in diamonds, but you may also have a fit in spades, and the right bid here is definitely 1 spade. If you bid 3 diamonds, you've got 9 points and 2 doubletons. Your partner will probably pass. They've no reason to go on after that. And the computer says you can make 3 diamonds. In fact, you can make +1. You can make 10 tricks, but that will not be a good score for you because you missed out on your spade fit. So how should this go? After 1 diamond, North should bid 1 spade. Okay, don't worry about supporting diamonds yet. Bid your 1 spade. Now, South can support spades, and South has got 12, 13, 14, 15 points, 2 doubletons. So they should be jumping. Also, if you're South, then you can use the losing trick count. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losers. So you're 1 loser better than a minimum for opener. If you're dead minimum, you could just bid 2 spades, but here you're going to bid 3 spades, and then that should lead to 4 spades. And again, on this hand, if I click on the GIB button, it will tell me that you can make 4 spades. So you can make 10 tricks as well, but of course you're playing in spades rather than diamonds, and you will get the game bonus there. So if you are one of the 30-odd% who chose to bid 3 diamonds or anything other than 1 spade on this hand, you really need to brush up on your bidding, because you're going to be missing out on some contracts there. Now, of course, it could be the case that you don't have a spade fit. So it might go, say, 1 diamond, here you bid 1 spade, and here South doesn't have a spade fit for you. What do you think South should bid with this hand? There's not a poll. Anyone like to tell me what they think they should bid?
1 no trump.
Almost. How many points is South?
2 no trumps.
What have I got? 12, 14, 15. Is that right? 12, 16, 17, sorry.
17, yeah.
17, 2 no trumps. Sorry.
2 no trump, yeah. With a balanced hand with 17 to 18 points, you bid 2 no trump. You're not worried about the spade weakness anymore once your partner's bid that suit. So you bid 2 no trump, and you'll end up in 3 no trump on this hand. And again, if I click on the GIB link, it says that declarer should be able to make that, making an over trick. So you should make 10 tricks if you everything goes as predicted, and you'll make 430 or 460 depending on the vulnerability. But look what happens if you don't bid 1 spade on the same hand. What will happen if you bid 3 diamonds? Well, now South doesn't really know that there's a spade stopper, and with 17 points opposite your partner showing something like 10+ points, they might go for game, but the game that they're going to go for is probably going to be 5 diamonds. So if South has the courage to bid game, they might be 5 diamonds there, and that can make as well. So 5 diamonds, again, if I click on this link, will probably make either 11 or can actually make 12 tricks, depending on how it's played. So, but even if you bid and make 5 diamonds, that will only score you 400 or 420, depending on whether you make an over trick, and that will be less than 3 no trump plus 1. So these minor suit games are often, very bad options if there was a possibility of playing in no trump here. So if North bid 3 diamonds, I think it's very tough for South to bid 3 no trump with no kind of spade stopper there.
Tony,
So,
would game
yeah.
trial could you get anywhere with game trials to see if no trump's a better option, or is it too far in at 3 diamonds?
You could, yeah. I mean, so after 1 diamond, 3 diamonds, if you wanted to do a game trial, yes, you could bid 3 hearts, okay? And then you hope your partner will respond 3 spades. And then you would possibly bid 3 no trump. So yes, you could recover from it in that situation. Yeah, that's a valid observation. But of course, your partner has misbid in the first place by not bidding 1 spade. So it makes it harder to find 3 no trump. But yes, you could still get there. And I would recommend that you would use game trials in that situation, and hopefully you would end up in 3 no trump as well. Because 5 diamonds is often a very poor contract if other people are making 3 no trump. It's very rarely going to score better than 3 no trump. Okay, let's have a look at another example. Here's one where we just look at the West hand here. West, you've got a nice 7-card suit, and certainly if you're not vulnerable, you should be opening that 3 hearts. Possibly even vulnerable, there's a case to be said for bidding 3 hearts, as it is a pretty good hand. And if we bring up the 4 hands at that point, if you bid 3 hearts, it makes it very hard for the opponents to bid. Can North really bid anything? Can North really bid 3 spades? It's a bit tentative. I think North is likely to pass, and you may well end up playing this in 3 hearts. Now, you're probably not going to make 3 hearts, because if the opponents, if I click on the GIB button, it says that if North, for example, leads a spade, you will be down 2 tricks. So you will suffer a penalty of -2 there. But that should be okay, especially if you're not vulnerable. That would only be 100 points. However, what I see on a hand like this is some people here, instead of bidding 3 hearts, they decide to treat it like a weak 2 and only open 2 hearts. Now, if you bid 2 hearts, you're making it much easier for North-South to enter the auction. I think if West bids 2 hearts here, I think North should definitely bid 2 spades. They've got a good 5-card suit there, and their partner should support them, maybe bidding 3 spades, and then maybe you'll end up in 4 spades on that one. And even if the opponents lead a heart there, whatever they lead, Declarer can actually make an over trick here. Declarer can make 4 spades plus 1. And you allow them to get there because you've only opened 2 hearts. So when you're preempting, you should really preempt as high as you dare in one go. And, it's a mistake there to bid to open 2 hearts when you could have bid 3 hearts. 3 hearts is much more likely to keep them out of the auction than 2 hearts is. So 3 hearts, although it went down, you only suffered a penalty of maybe 100, whereas if they make 4 spades, they'll get 420 or 420, 450 or 650, depending on the vulnerability. So that's a very common mistake I see. I think people who learned about weak 2s think, oh, I'll do that instead of a 3 level bid, and that doesn't have the same preemptive value. Don't we have any comments or questions on that? And let's have a look at a similar hand. This is a hand where West does have a legitimate 2-heart opening. And let's suppose it goes 2 hearts and North with a similar hand bids 2 spades. Here East should pass and South should pass. So North would end up playing this one in 2 spades, and it probably shouldn't make. East is here likely to lead the singleton 4 of hearts, their partner suit. And you can see the computer is saying it could go down 2 tricks. So you might get a North-South would go down 2 tricks, losing 100 or 200, depending on the vulnerability. But sometimes I see a hand like this. This is the same hand, but what happens is I see it goes 2 hearts, 2 spades, pass, pass, and West raises their own preempt. West bids 3 hearts here, saying, well, I don't want to let them play it in 2 spades, and they bid 3 hearts. And that is a bad mistake. On this hand, if West bids 3 hearts and they're left to play there, the computer's saying that that also could be defeated by 2 tricks. North will presumably lead the ace of spades, and East-West could go down 2 tricks. So you should, of course, have let them play it in 2 spades, and it's a mistake for you to raise your own preempt. It's not a mistake for your partner to raise your preempt. If it had gone 2 hearts, 2 spades, if East had a different kind of hand, they could raise the preempt maybe to 3 hearts. But once you've preempted, you're meant to describe your hand as much as you can all in one go, and then not bid again unless your partner makes a bid that requires you to bid. So here, by bidding 3 hearts, they turned a plus score that they were going to get for defeating 2 spades into a minus score for going down in 3 hearts. And that's an example of raising your own preempt. Any comments or questions on that one? So those are the examples I wanted to talk about today. If I just go back to the slideshow, I just thought I'd end with those on the display. These are perhaps the most common bridge bidding mistakes that I see. There are also others in defense and declare play that we'll do another time, but I hope you all understand those and try to avoid them this afternoon. Anyone have anything to say about anything? If not, I will end the talk there.
Tony, yes, I do. Overcall, after double, jumping with 9+ points, would you jump even if it's at the 2 level and you just had 9 points and you had to jump to the 3 level? Would you still jump?
You really are meant to jump. Yes, I mean if you don't jump, okay, you're really saying 0 to 8 points, and I know that is perhaps the most common mistake of all. I mean, but what tends to happen is that your partner compensates for it, sort of realizing you might have, thinking, oh, maybe they should have jumped but didn't. They might, bid on. So, but it really is not the right bid. You really are meant to jump with more than 8 points. Yes. Okay, we'll end the talk there, except for just asking if anyone needs a partner, if you can speak